Welcome to this mastery episode. I really wanted to thank you for taking the time out hearing this particular episode. In this mastery session, I'm going to share you the things that I think that I learned at 20s, because these were the things I later discovered that has made immense impact in me when I discovered. The first thing is nothing but you can play with toxic and you can't leave both, because it is the ultimate game to world class. The students who like to be world class leaders in the future need to avoid the distractions that they surround with, because when you get distractions in the initial phases, you won't be able to recognize that it is a distraction that's killing your productivity to the world class, where you are not able to judge which are the right things to do, which are the wrong things to do. When you make what are the high priority actions, you get to know what are the things that you need to do it for the day. Thereby, you eliminate distractions. And the biggest inability when I was in my 20s that I was never being trained to tell no. When I was telling yes, I was just getting away from my goals. I was just getting away from my focused areas where I was not able to implement the right things at the right manner. And that's what I aim to tell, that you cannot play both the games. Either you can play the toxic game or you can be into the world class. In order to be into the world class, you need to adopt certain things that majority of the population is not doing. When you are doing the things that the majority of the population is not intending, you are on the right track. You are into the world class. It may be hard in the start, but as the days pass by, as the hours pass by, it gets easy for you. With that, coming to a second important lesson that I think that I learned at 20s was that everything will happen for your growth. Sometimes bad days will be happening in your life. You think that if you had taken the second road, it would have been better. But I am here to rewrite that in a manner that these are the experiences that you are getting. Maybe when a bad day is coming to you, you will be in need of high experiences. How you are able to deal with a particular situation, how you are able to move about in the situation can make you grow in your life. Because leadership is not the clear path where you see the destination. It is a path of hardships. It is a path of struggles that you wanted to undergo. When you are able to adapt to the unstable situation, you are able to get into the right track. You are able to grow yourself. Maybe you may be feeling as a tiring one in the initial phases, but as you pass by, you feel that these are the things that's happening for your growth. These are the experiences where you tell it as a story in great stages. So make in mind that when hardships are coming, it's not to depromote you. Instead, it's all for your growth. With that, coming to the third important lesson, which I think that I learned in my 20s, is that when you earn your mornings, you elevate your life. You may be very familiar with the morning routines and all, but it's not to make it only on the weekdays. It's for you to adapt into a situation where you feel that you are getting elevated in the lifelong journey. And when you make use of the mornings, believe me, it's only for the top 1% class of leaders. They make the morning in a process as if like they are getting elevated, they are getting creative, they are getting much rejuvenated for the process. I know it's very easy for students at 20s to sleep, to pull in the blanket again and go for a massive sleep. But believe me, if you wanted to be a leader, if you wanted to elevate your life, if you wanted to have greater prospects for you, it's high time for you to rise early and start working for yourself. Maybe you can start the first hours with sweaty exercise, meditation, journaling, affirmations can completely elevate you to the next level. You may be finding it hard in the initial phases, and after this rituals, when you start the day with high priority action, you feel more motivated to move ahead in the journey. You will be much productive than others. You take the better track that the less traveled people has taken, because that's always the signal of success. Success is not the outside wealth that you are gaining, but it's an inside wealth you are getting day in and day out. When you are able to live each moment, you are getting elevated. And majority of the people are not living in the present. They're either thinking of the past, and it's high time for you to live in the present. And when you start living in the present, things that you wanted to attract gets automatically attracted you. And what's the reason for that? It is only because of the morning routines that you are going to follow. So start following it up. And when you're following, the first and foremost important thing is that the word called consistency. You should be consistent enough to move forward. You should be consistent enough to take up the higher ladders of success within you. With that, coming to the next important learning, which I think I learned in my 20s, is that there is a difference between being busy and genuinely productive. Majority of the people tell, oh, I have a lot of things to do. I'm really busy with my things. But they're actually pretending to be busy. The people who are actually being busy and actually being productive, they are working in cycles. They are working in fixed cycles where they're out of complete distraction, where there is no phone calls where they'll attend it, there will no text messages where they'll go to reply for that, and there will be no WhatsApp messages or emails that will be popping into their phones where they get addicted. And believe me, the highly productive people work in a manner that they plan out the days, they plan out the hours, they plan out the minutes and seconds, where they feel that when they're working, it's completely productive. And by productive, I don't mean that there's no time, quality time with family. No. By productive, I aim to tell that the working hours that you set as productive hours will be 201% productive. They'll be keeping the phone in the aeroplane mode, or they'll be switching off the notification, whatever things that's popping up in the front screen, and they'll be made into the productive zone. When I was recently watching a documentary of Steve Jobs, I found that Steve Jobs was getting a month in between his hectic schedule to take off, where he'll completely work on himself on how he need to take off the future days and years. He'll think of better ideas. He will be filled up with books where he'll read. He'll be completely out from the digital distractions. He'll be completely out from other distractions, where he'll go to a place where he completely detached from the outside world. And believe me, that is the ways how successful leaders elevate their productivity. That's the way how people move into the next levels of productivity. And if you're a student who's hearing me who wanted to make massive progress in the productivity, start eliminating your distractions. Start working in cycles. Initially, it will be a big task. For 40 minutes, 60 minutes, when you start concentrating, it will be a big task that you will be getting out of focus many times. But as the time passes by, you feel that it is something that's elevating you to the next level. With that, coming to the fifth important lesson, which I think that I learned in my 20s, was that it doesn't matter what other people are thinking about you. It only matters how you are developing and growing. In short, what you are becoming and how far you are traveled. Many people have the question in their minds that if I start my passion project, what will other people are going to think? And believe me, they are only thinking of you because they don't have anything to think about themselves. And when you start innovations, it's the right track of development. It's the right track of moving into the higher productive zones than you think. And with that, you will be able to formulate higher things that you have been passionate about, so that your success becomes closer. And believe me, success is not the one-time thing that you are getting. Success is the daily things that's happening in your life, where you feel each day is so important for you, where you feel that you cannot move out of your high priority actions. Thereby, you become the best version of yourself. And believe me, the normal ones are the ones who have been always getting distracted with the phone calls and the other pop-ups that happens in the screen. While the successful ones are always the ones who are very minimalist in nature, who are out of distractions for a very long period of time, and who know what their goals are, and be in the productive track and see immense results that's happening for you. So the point that I like to make it to your note, that start the things that's helping you to grow. Start the things that's helping you to be in the fast track. Start with the things that you feel that you are getting elevated to a next level. And it will be a bit difficult in the start, but as the time passes by, you feel immense progress within you. With that, coming to the last important lesson, which I think that I learned when I was in my 20s. Is nothing but the most lovely person in the room wins. It's not about the courage, or it's not about the bravery that you need to surround with, but instead you need to surround with the punctuality, the politeness, and the deep recovery cycles for you to recover and rejuvenate for the future, so that it can help you to move to the next level. Be into the minimalist nature. Don't go into a position where you feel that you wanted to showcase many things to others. It's outdated. Now the people who are very successful are the ones who are very minimalist with their things, with their personal as well as the professional things. With the less things, you need to create more. And it's not an easy philosophy to get it implemented. When you start, you will be facing with many challenges. And as the things get processed, you need to get into a position where you feel that you are getting elevated to the next levels of success. Please the scarcity mindset, not the generosity mindset, where you produce more rather than you consume, where you feel that you are getting the levels of growth within. Because when you start practicing it, your society around you will start noticing that you are in the process of growth. And if you're a student who's hearing me, just start the actions right now and see higher results that's happening for you. And remember in mind, when you start, it will be a bit difficult for you to get it started. But as the days passes by, you feel the difficulty is getting erased. And wishing you the best as dear student, because if you discover in your 20s, it will fast track your journey to a greater extent. And that was the main motive of this particular video. I hope that you like this video, and if you like this, just share this video with your friends so that you can discuss on how you can elevate to the next level. So you get an accountability partner for you, so that you always moves automatically. Wishing you the best. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.